program is about to begin. Thank you. Gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to the lion dancers that started the evening, as well as to Z and Jenny, who are playing the saxophone and violin for you up top.
We are so glad that everyone is here tonight to celebrate the 50th anniversary of OCA. My name is Joe Fowler, and I'm the managing director at Metro Theater Company here in St. Louis, and I'm honored to be back for my second time emceeing this wonderful celebration for OCA.
And my name is Ed Liu, and I'm the immediate executive vice president for OCA National, based in DC, but I'm actually from LA, and I'm very pleased and honored to be able to join you here for tonight's very special 50th anniversary gala.
Tonight's a very special night as we honor OCA, Asian Pacific American Advocates' golden anniversary. Can you believe that it has been 50 years?
Wow.
Yeah. Since 1973, this organization has been instrumental in leading the way for advocating AA, NHPI in our backyard here in the St. Louis region and in critical ways at the national level.
And for the past 50 years, we've been there to advocate for the social, political, and economic well-being of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in the United States. We were there in 1982 after the brutal beating of Vincent Chin in Detroit to seek justice for that cause and to strive for equality and fairness for all. We were also there most recently in Monterey Park, California, when board members of OCA's Greater Los Angeles chapter, which I'm privileged to be a president of, stepped up as members of the Monterey Park City Council, of the State Assembly, and of course of the US Congress and our Representative Judy Chu to help rebuild Monterey Park and our community and show the strength and resilience of our community. And since then, we were also there when Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders were being in hate incidents in the United States.
We know this is a story that began a long time ago. Let's take a moment right now to recognize that on this very date, in 1882, March the 6th, on this date, President Chester Alan Arthur signed into law the odious Chinese-American Exclusion Act. It wouldn't be repealed until 1943, and full rights for Chinese Americans would not be restored until 1965. There is a long path behind us, but there is a long path ahead of us as well. And for the last 50 years, OCA has been there to lead our whole community forward to achieve greater equality and justice. And we are so happy to celebrate that tonight. With your support, together, we're able to sustain and continue that incredibly critical vision and mission. And none of that would be possible without so many generous supporters. So as we begin tonight, it's important to recognize those supporters who support OCA. There are many, so please hold your applause until after each group. First, our leader sponsors, Tao and Lee Associates, Washington University in St. Louis, Carviva, Randall and Gala Narike, Emerson and Corner 17 Noodles and Bubble Tea. These are our leaders' sponsors. Thank you for your support. Let's give them a round of applause.
We also would like to thank the following table supporters. First, the Missouri Historical Society, the St. Louis Community College, UMSL Global, Chinese Culture and Education Services, Midwest Bank Center, Global Foods Market, STL Partnership, St. Louis Mosaic, World Trade Center St. Louis. Thank you for all of your support.
But wait, there's more. Our list of supporters still continues. We would also like to thank Slalom Consulting, Peter Tao and Helen Lee, Austin and Mary Tao, Thong Tarm and Christina Lei, Yvonne Fu, Ailing Lam, Sarah Yang Bosco, Ruth Kim, and Anna Croslin, and all of our guests who are here tonight. Thank you for your support.
And to help get the program going, please join us in welcoming to the stage the current OCA National Secretary and the current Chapter President of OCA St. Louis, Thong Tarm.
Good evening, everyone. Oh my gosh, that's pathetic. Hello, advocates. Woo! It's a celebration. Come on. You guys think, well, okay, never mind. So, welcome everyone to our golden 50th anniversary. It's great to see so many people that I've known over the years and many new folks I've met recently. For those who don't know me, my name is Thong Tarm. I've been involved with OCA for over a dozen years. Tonight is a very special night, not only to celebrate all of our past efforts and events, but also we have two entertainers in the house. One is a DJ to the star, Mr. Eddie Boo. That's his stage name, by the way. He literally performed for Hollywood stars. So that's why I recruited him here. So just a little bragging right from me. The other person you'll hear his performance tonight is Zai Lee up there performing with his wife, and they happen to be lawyers. So who says lawyers can't have fun, right? But on a serious note, for those who are not aware of our organization, it was founded to advocate and amplify voices of Asian Americans. From our humble beginnings in people's houses and hosting fundraising events in restaurants to now being in the History Museum. When you get a moment, I heartily encourage each of you to go through the program and get to know our board, our past board members, our committee members, our past presidents. In fact, I'm gonna call some of you guys up here. So just actually stand up, you don't need to come up here. Helen Lee, please stand up. Peter Tao, Austin Tao, Mary Tao, Nancy Tao. There's a lot of Taos, so not all of them are related, by the way. Howard Young, Dr. Harold Law, Matthew Yu, Dr. Fung, Elaine Lam, Anna Lum, Dr. Lee Lin, Christina Lei, Yvonne Fu, Rita Chu, Ray Castellano, Tila Nguyen, and Dr. Min Liu. These are the folks who supported OCA throughout the years and to continue to support us. Many of them are still doing amazing work for the AA and HPI community. So please spend some time to get to know them and us as well. We're always looking forward to not only volunteers, we love free labor, but also board members as well. As many as you know in recent years, we must continue to advocate for our community. If we do not learn from our past history, we are doomed to repeat the mistakes. Let's lay the path forward for our future. And remember, you can't have the word advocacy without OCA. Thank you.
Thank you, Thong. Reflecting on the progress that the AA-NHPI community has made and the strides that are still before us profoundly anchors tonight's celebration. Our region is on the brink of continuing to fulfill the promise of what is possible. When we recognize the power and the joy that comes with celebrating both what makes us each different and also what binds us together in a common crusade to create a better future for all, only then can we ensure that every voice within the rich fabric of our community has more than just a place at the table, but a place at the center of the table. There are amazing humans in this room tonight deeply committed to that cause. But in the civic life of the city of St. Louis, there is no doubt that no one person embodies that commitment of progress, of inclusion, and of the potential for more than the Honorable Mayor of St. Louis City, Tushara Jones. You will hear tonight about many firsts, and the Honorable Mayor Jones certainly holds the title of first in countless ways, most notably as the first Black woman elected mayor in our city's history. Prior to her election as mayor, she served as city treasurer, beginning programs that helped ensure that over 18,000 public school students could start saving for college. As someone who runs our region's only professional theater, exclusively devoted to serving young people and their families, you could say I have a soft spot for any program that is helping our region's young people prepare to become their best future selves. But I am blown away that already over $1.5 million has been saved through the program that she began to help those students, empowering more of our city's children to achieve higher education. What you might not know is that when Mayor Jones was a little girl, one of her role models was Princess Leia. I stalked your Facebook a little. That this seems to be fitting to share 2 days after May the 4th be with you. But I think that if I were a little girl or a little boy growing up in St. Louis, I know who my role model would probably be, and that is you. So please, let us welcome to the stage the Honorable Tashara Jones to help us celebrate 50 years of OCA.
Good evening. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you to President Tom for the gracious invitation to join you this evening. Tonight, we're also gathered to celebrate the Missouri Historical Society's St. Louis Chinese American Collecting Initiative, curating and preserving St. Louis history that dates back to the mid-19th century. I also want to recognize my colleague and friend, Dr. Sam Page, our St. Louis County Executive. And I also want to recognize my good friend Min Jung Kim, as well as Simon Wang, who's here with me tonight, our Chief Technology Officer for the City of St. Louis. St. Louis is proud to be one of 3 founding cities of the OCA, founded in 1973, alongside our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and Detroit. We're also proud to have the first sister city relationship with Nanjing, China, and the People's Republic of China. We beat San Francisco and Shanghai by an entire year on that. Yes. And as the first Black woman elected mayor of the city of St. Louis, every day I strive to make St. Louis a place where everyone has the opportunity to succeed, no matter their skin color, background, or ethnicity. My administration is working to build a more inclusive and accessible government that reflects the incredible diversity of the St. Louis region. In my recent State of the City address, I was proud to announce the creation of the Office of New Americans. Housed in the mayor's office, this new effort will break down barriers that block our new neighbors from engaging with city government, accessing resources, and setting up their businesses and homes in St. Louis for generations to come. The U.S. and China global agricultural relationship and partnership, physically distanced by thousands of miles, yet committed and linked by shared goals and outcomes, specifically in St. Louis the past 40 years, including academic exchanges, cultural experiences, and business relationships, is critical to break down hateful stereotypes that create mutual understanding and respect across cultural lines. Our Asian American and Pacific Islander neighbors are deeply rooted in the city's history and identity, and that makes St. Louis City the city we all know and love. We've sadly seen a rise in bigotry directed against the AAPI community, especially since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. But in St. Louis, we reject hateful attempts to divide us across racial lines and other cultural backgrounds. Our differences make our city stronger. St. Louis is and will continue to be home to anyone who wants to make it their own. And I look forward to continuing to work with you on the issues that impact and matter to you and your families, as well as future conversations on our shared goals to make our region safer, healthier, and thriving for all. And now, in recognition of your 50th anniversary, it is my honor and privilege to declare today as OCA AAPI Advocates Day in the city of St. Louis. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Jones, for those very inspiring remarks and for that proclamation. One more time for Mayor Jones. I now have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Sam Page. Dr. Page just served his second term as the St. Louis County Council Executive. He's also an adjunct assistant professor of anesthesiology and critical care at St. Louis University School of Medicine. He was elected to the St. Louis County Council in 2014 and served as chair in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Previously, Dr. Page served with the Missouri House of Representatives from 2003 to 2008. He's also past president of the Missouri Society of Anesthesiologists and the Missouri Society of Interventional Pain Physicians. He's also a member of the St. Louis Metropolitan Medical Society. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sam Page.
Well, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, and it's a pleasure to celebrate the 50th anniversary of OCA. And I want to thank you for all the work you do in the community, advocating, empowering, and educating. Your work in St. Louis County is invaluable, and we support a vibrant, diverse community that makes this a great place to live and to work and to be successful. And no matter our differences, we all have the same hopes and dreams for our families, for our community, and for our country. And together, we can make those hopes and dreams a reality. Together, we stand strong against ignorance, hate, and the churn of disinformation that tries to divide us. So as St. Louis County Executive, it's my honor in St. Louis County to proclaim today OCA, Asian Pacific American Advocates in St. Louis 50th Anniversary Day. And I appreciate your partnership. I see many friends in the room. I appreciate your friendship. And I wish you the best in the next 50 years. Thank you.
Dr. Page, thank you for your support tonight and for all that you do to build a stronger community in partnership with organizations like OCA all across St. Louis County. We are in a special moment in our region to have such strong leaders who are deeply committed to building a stronger region in both Dr. Sam Page as county executive and Mayor Tashara Jones as mayor of the city of St. Louis. We're so grateful you're both here tonight. Let's give them both one more round of applause. In addition to amazing people, we have some amazing gifts that you can win tonight here as part of the celebration while you help to support OCA at the same time. So if you did not yet get a chance to view the auction and raffle gifts, please do take some time to do so as you are enjoying your dinner to come. If you are a raffle ticket seller here, could you wave your hand in the air so we can make sure our friends who might not yet have their raffle tickets can best find you? I see two hands in the air. Are these our two wonderful humans? I've seen two hands in the air from one person, but I saw another hand right here at table 7. So please visit these two wonderful folks if you'd like to purchase some raffle tickets. Raffle tickets are 4 for $20 and 15 for $50. And if you don't need any more raffle tickets, then you already have, these fine people can also help you make direct donations to OCA tonight that you might be interested in giving. Now, you may have heard that this celebration is also a dinner, and a delicious one, I believe, at that. So we're not going to stand any longer in the way of you enjoying great food. So please enjoy your salad and your entree to come, and we'll be back up here in a little bit to continue the celebration. Thank you.
We hope you're enjoying your dinner. Before we resume the program, we just want to remind you about the wonderful silent auction and raffle that are going on right now. Don't forget, raffle tickets are 4 for $20 or 15 for $50. And we've got over 20 wonderful prizes, including tour packages, show tickets, a magic kit, staycation packages, tickets to see the St. Louis Cardinals, and plenty of restaurant and grocery gift cards. And in the silent auction, we've got some wonderful prizes, including a trip to the City Park Stadium where you'll get a private tour of the new home of the St. Louis Major League Soccer team, a golf outing for 4 right here at Forest Park, more tickets to go see the St. Louis Cardinals, and exclusive tours of the St. Louis Art Museum, as well as a specialty luxury bag from Lux & Nick's Bags. And today, the owner and proprietor is actually here with us, so thank you very much, Lisa, for that, as well as our other sponsors. So don't forget, the raffle tickets are on sale now, 4 for 20 or 5 for 15, 15 for 50. And also the silent auction. The silent auction will close at about 9:30 p.m., so make sure you get your bids in before then. And the raffle ticket sellers are right here again. Could you raise your hand so you can hear me? Right there. Thank you. So please be sure to buy. All the proceeds go back to benefiting OCA St. Louis and all the wonderful programs that it puts on throughout the year. So thank you very much for your support, and we will resume the program shortly. We're just about to resume the program, so if you could please take your seats. We'll continue with the second half of tonight's program. And before we do that, just want to give one more reminder about the silent auction and raffle that are going on right now. Raffle tickets are available, 4 for $20 or 15 for $50. And we have over 20 prizes that you can choose from when you win. We also have some wonderful silent auction items set up at the tables in the back. So please be sure to visit those before 9:30 p.m. One more time, raffle tickets are available, 4 for $20, 15 for $50. And silent auction items are available in the back of the room. We've got some really wonderful prizes, including St. Louis Cardinals tickets, lots of restaurant and grocery gift cards, golf outings, hotel stays, luxury items, plenty of really interesting stuff that features many of our local AAPI businesses as well. So we do encourage you to purchase either your raffle ticket or sign up for a silent auction bid. All the proceeds go back to supporting OCA St. Louis's wonderful programs throughout the year. And with that, if I could have your attention, we are about to introduce one of the first keynote speakers for the evening. And that keynote speaker is Min Jung Kim. Let's give Min Jung Kim a round of applause. Min Jung Kim was named the Barbara B. Taylor Director of the St. Louis Art Museum in 2021. She brings to St. Louis extensive experience in museum leadership roles. As the Director and Chief Executive Officer of the New Britain Museum of American Art, she enhanced the museum's profile through exhibitions and collection development designed to expand the definition of American art and reflect greater diversity while strengthening community engagement and collaborative partnerships. As Deputy Director of the Eli and Edith Broad Art Museum at Michigan State University, she was in charge of implementing the completion of the Zaha Hadid-designed Broad MSU and setting up its operational infrastructure. As Director of Content Alliances at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, she managed collaborative projects among the Guggenheim, the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia, and the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna. Min Jung Kim was born and raised in Seoul, South Korea. She graduated from Wheaton College and holds a master's degree in art history from the Courtauld Institute of Art at the University of London. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Min Jung Kim.
Thank you for that incredibly kind introduction. Good evening, everyone. It is my distinct honor to be here to help celebrate OCA's 50th anniversary, marking half a century's work of fighting for civil rights and economic empowerment in our communities. And I want to congratulate the organization's leadership on this year's most important milestone. I also want to especially thank Peter Tao for inviting me to speak at tonight's gala. Peter was one of the first people who reached out to me immediately upon the announcement of my directorship of the St. Louis Art Museum. And in fact, I had not even moved to St. Louis yet. But once here, thanks to Peter Tao and Helen Lee, who very graciously hosted an event to introduce me to St. Louis's vibrant Asian community, I immediately felt welcome and very much at home. So I thought I would share a little bit about my personal background. I grew up in Seoul, South Korea, and I initially came to the United States in the late 1980s to pursue a liberal arts education at a small New England college where I discovered art history, thus leading me on a path of working in art museums for the last 30 years. And although the early years of my professional career were spent in Seoul, the majority of my museum experiences have been here in the United States in places like New York, Michigan, Connecticut, and now St. Louis, Missouri. I have now lived about roughly half as much time in the United States as I have lived in Korea. And during this time, I've learned a lot and perhaps even changed a lot. For instance, it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I realized that I was Asian. I say this probably because for the first 3/4 of my life, I had consistently referred to myself as being Korean. But in my naturalization process, I realized that I gained more than simply a United States citizenship. It also came with a new identity as an Asian American. As you know, today the term Asian American has been expanded to many other terms and acronyms, including AANHPI, that's a mouthful right there, to not only describe the fastest growing demographic group in the United States, but also a population of more than 24 million people with roots in East Asia, Southeast Asia, the Indian subcontinent, Hawaii, Samoa, Guam, Fiji, Tonga, Marshall Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands and other Pacific islands. And as you know, it comprises scores of ethnic groups with distinct histories, cuisines, languages, and cultures. It includes recent immigrants, those who have been in the United States for generations, and those who have endured centuries of colonization. Simply put, this demographic is large and internally heterogeneous. But rather than dwell on our differences, I want to focus on what compels us together, including how we increase representation and visibility, building solidarity and a sense of community. By celebrating the collectivism of our many distinct cultural traditions, I believe that we can uplift our individual unique heritages under a broader AANHPI community. For there is power in numbers, and more diverse and widespread Asian American representation in every space and circumstance matters. And in that regard, I want you to consider the St. Louis Art Museum as one of those spaces. Among the St. Louis Art Museum's collection of more than 37,000 works of art, Asian art comprises more than 5,000 objects. Now, this amounts to about 15% of our museum's holdings, which coincidentally, I'm delighted to share that that is a figure more than 3 times larger than the percentage of Asians living in the St. Louis region. And additionally, more than 700 works from our oceanic collection originate in the Pacific Islands, primarily Polynesia and Melanesia. Highlights from the St. Louis Art Museum's collection include fine examples of Chinese bronzes and ceramics, Japanese calligraphy, painting, lacquer, and folding screens, excellent representation of Maori carvings, and religious sculptures from the Buddhist and Hindu traditions. These include iconic works on view now, like our monumental 900-year-old seated Bodhisattva sculpture, which was purchased in 1947, or our similarly large-scale 16th century Chinese bronze seated figure of the official of Earth, which the museum bought 104 years ago. And I'm delighted that St. Louisans today can enjoy these remarkable artworks because of the commitment our museum made generations ago and continue to this day. In fact, last year, purchases of Asian art have included a ceramic object by the contemporary Japanese artist Kondo Takahira, as well as diverse range of historical artworks that include Korean paintings, Japanese woodblock prints, Chinese ceramics, and Indonesian ceremonial cloths and other textiles, just to name a few. Our collection includes artwork that originates from many cultures and religious traditions by artists who spoke different languages and lived decades, centuries, and even millennia apart. While it frequently makes sense for many museums to celebrate art from a single culture or tradition, we are also very interested in cross-cultural inspiration that emerges from softening and even obscuring the boundaries that often divide rather than interconnect in order to tell richer cultural narratives that ultimately reflects conflicts, concepts, emotions, and aspirations that are more universal and eternal. I hope that the St. Louis Art Museum is a place where you see yourself with and among others as part of a community, a place that can help fill in the gaps of our own respective histories, especially if it has felt incomplete, overlooked, or undervalued, and as a place that values diversity, continually creates spaces where all voices of all identities can be heard and valued. Within the 144-year history of St. Louis Art Museum directors, I have the great privilege of being the first woman of color, the first Asian, and the first immigrant to take the helm of this venerable cultural institution. But I also know that I'm here because I stand on the shoulders of great women and immigrants before me, and thanks to the hard-fought histories of achievements by individuals among the AA and HPI communities that have paved the way. And with this privileged responsibility, I believe that one of the most valuable contributions that I can make is ensuring that while I may be currently the first, I will not be the last, but rather the first of many more like me to come. And I'm committed to opening up pathways and leaving tracks for others to join me now and into the future. In the meantime, as an Asian American woman leading the St. Louis Art Museum, I'm keenly aware that I am often the only one that looks like me in the room. I'm often the only person of color. But not tonight. Look at this beautiful room full of everyone. Which makes it all the more a tremendous pleasure to be here together with you, celebrating OCA and the incredibly important work that they have been doing for the last 50 years. I am honored to do my part by contributing to our collective commitment in creating a better future for the Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander communities across the country in general and in St. Louis in specific. Thank you very much.
Min, thank you so much for those beautiful remarks and for sharing your gifts and your heart with this community and becoming part of St. Louis over this past year. I love the idea that the aspirations at the Art Museum, but I believe the aspirations in this room, are both those that are universal and are eternal. And as we look at where we stand today as part of community, in community tonight, that we can know that wherever we come from, whatever the nation is of our birth, whatever the places of our birth, the ethnic background we bring into this room, we are in community together, and we are in community together tonight, celebrating one very specific piece of the global majority, that is the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities, specifically in St. Louis. We are in the presence of truly extraordinary leaders and leading institutions in our region tonight. The St. Louis Art Museum is most certainly one, but just across Forest Park from the St. Louis Art Museum, in that beautiful edifice, the Art Museum that you probably all know, was built to be constructed for the Palace of the Arts during that 1904 World's Fair. Just across the park, there's this other building. You might be familiar with that building. There's this other building that was built from the proceeds of the 1904 World's Fair. It is the building that we are in today, and it is another building that is central to St. Louis's civic life. The Missouri History Museum, one of the many branches of the Missouri Historical Society. And up until very recently, Fran Levine's leadership, and now for the last 8 months, Jody Sowell's leadership, the History Museum's commitment to fully reflecting the stories of all in our region across the centuries has begun to flourish in powerful ways. And we all know in this room that our region's story is deeply interwoven with the stories of the AA-NHPI community. To share more about the Missouri Historical Society's Chinese American Collecting Initiative, I am pleased to welcome to the podium the chair of that initiative, a man who needs no introduction, especially among this esteemed room, but despite that, I still get to introduce him. Peter Tao is a community leader who has held countless service roles locally and nationally to advocate for what is possible for the AA-NHPI community and for St. Louis. With his kind and joyful wife, Helen Lee, he founded Tao and Lee Associates nearly 3 decades ago. He has received the Diverse Business Leader Award from the St. Louis Business Journal, a Distinguished Alumni Award from Washington University, a Launch Code Moonshot Award finalist, and a St. Louis Rams Community Quarterback Award. That's just a whole lot of really cool things all put together. And truly, that's just scratching the surface. You should see him read a children's picture book at a special event for Metro Theater Company, a singular experience that might just help give shape to one of our future seasons to come. But today, he is leading the charge to ensure that the Asian history of St. Louis is not only preserved, but is centered and celebrated in how we understand our region. So please welcome Peter Tao.
Thank you, Joe. Hello, my name is Peter Tao, a board member of OCA, son of late leaders William and Ann Tao, who some of you may know in this room. The Taos played a part in OCA's founding 50 years ago. I am here to make you aware of 2 initiatives championed by OCA, both of which I am currently chairing. At OCA, we believe these initiatives are important and interest to our entire St. Louis community, and hopefully many of you in this room. This is not solely an AAPI community responsibility. These initiatives are about educating, enlightening, and enriching our entire community with the goal of making our community stronger, and most importantly, creating inspiration and support for our young, aspiring leaders. First is the Missouri Historical Society Chinese American Collecting Initiative, which was newly founded and is very active right now, and started in May of 2021. But as a side note, first of all, it is not coincidence that we are in this museum for this gala tonight. We are celebrating our gala here to also recognize and thank you the important St. Louis institution that the St. Louis Museum, History Museum and Historical Society is, and particularly for their commitment to telling AA and HPI stories, which are part of St. Louis stories. And a little known fact, perhaps not to everyone, this expansion of this museum was done by an Asian American HOK with the leadership of Gio Obata. Until more stories are told, many around us will continue to remain ignorant and not appreciate the value of our great AA and HPI community, past, present, or in the future. This collecting initiative seeks to find and reveal the stories about the contributions of the Chinese American community, which are numerous but largely unknown by most people. As one of the oldest Asian groups in St. Louis and Missouri, their contribution started with the first Chinese immigrant who arrived in St. Louis in 1852. You can find information about the collecting initiative in the program at the information table in the back and the Missouri Historical Society website, or you can also talk to me. I'd like to recognize Chris Gordon, who's the Director of Library and Collections here, and he's heading up the initiative. And I don't know is Emily here? Okay, but Emily Underwood, who's part of the Community Initiatives specialist. But regarding our diverse AA and HPI communities, the Historical Society is not just about this Chinese collecting initiative. They have already been committed here and seek to grow their collections. Past current efforts include the Golden Gateway Project, which was an oral history project including Chinese, Korean, Laotian, Thai, Vietnamese, and the Japanese community. They worked with the Japanese Society with a Soldiers Memorial exhibit, a traveling exhibit on the Japanese internment camps called Righting a Wrong, Japanese Americans in World War II. They have plans for a new Vietnam exhibit where interviewees are currently being sought. So those in the community who may know of Vietnamese with stories, they're all ears, approach them. And they just committed a more active pursuit of collecting of the Indian community. So that's one initiative. The other next is the William and Ann Tao Leadership Endowment, which is an evolution of a scholarship award that they started in 1998 for OCA. This is a fund to recognize, encourage, and reward deserving college-age AA and HPI students, including those not in college, but with equivalent qualifications, in our bi-state region. The endowment will be used to fund an annual award, hopefully more. The award will be for those who wish to hone their skills and gain valuable experience through leadership-related internships. Internships may be such as programs as those offered by OCA National. For now, the purpose of the award is to provide a financial stipend to offset those expenses that are often not covered through the pursuit of these internship opportunities. We aspire to offer more than a stipend, but you start with what means you have. Information can be found in the program, or again, you can talk to me. In conclusion, so why are we highlighting these two initiatives? To be direct, financial support. We believe supporting these initiatives are not just the responsibility of any single entity, but should be a collective effort with the aim of making our entire community better. With that said, I wish to announce that to help nurture more AAP and HI leaders and to honor our early leaders, William and Ann Tao, the extended Tao family will boost this next phase of the endowment with a starting pledge of $20,000. We are better together, and it takes a community. We hope you will join in the support, and thank you, and enjoy the remainder of the evening.
Thank you so much, Peter, and to the entire Tao family for all your generous support, not only of OCA, but the entire community. Let's give one more round of applause to Peter and the Tao family. Before we continue, we want to acknowledge and appreciate those of you who are still waiting for your dinner. We're sure you're probably pretty hungry right now, and we appreciate that all your patience in waiting for that. The food should be coming out shortly, so hopefully you will get it soon. And if you have any questions, please do feel free to talk to us afterwards. Next, we'd like to also just give another reminder about the silent auction and the raffle. Again, the raffle tickets are available, 4 for $20 or 15 for $50. There's plenty of excellent prizes available, including gift cards, staycations, trips. Also, we want to let you know about signing up as an OCA member as well. We have a lot of different OCA membership options, which you can find on our OCAnational.org website. You can even look at that from your phone. And as a special incentive for signing up for a lifetime membership tonight, if you sign up for a lifetime membership tonight, you can get one of these amazing centerpieces that are on all of your tables. Lifetime membership is $1,000, but normally membership is $40 a year. So if you pay for it once, you're in the clear for at least 25 years. I should have done that when I first started, but I didn't. We have 7 current lifetime members of OCA National, of OCA here with us. If you're a lifetime member, would you please raise your hand or stand and be acknowledged? Let's give it up one time for all of our OCA lifetime members. And of course, it doesn't have to be a lifetime membership. You could sign up for 1 year for $40. You could sign up for a family membership. You could sign up for a 5-year plan for $140 as well. Lots of different options. Students are only $10 also. So I encourage you to look at OCAnational.org. Go to the membership site. You'll see all the different options there. And again, the proceeds from that go towards benefiting OCA's wonderful programs, both at the national level and the specific St. Louis chapter. So we do encourage you to sign up for membership. And of course, if you haven't already, get your raffle tickets and take a look at the silent auction items. That's going to close at 9:30 today. And next, we have a little bit of entertainment for you. I am very pleased to introduce to you Z Lee. He's been playing throughout the night from the top with his saxophone. He's going to do a special performance for us right now as well. Let's give one round of applause to Z Lee.
Hello, my name is Z Lee. Z like the letter Z, zebra. My mom had 26 kids. That was a logical name choice, Z. I'm just kidding. I have one more song for you, and this one is called What a Wonderful World. You feel free to sing along. And with this song, I just want to spread the love for you guys. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I just want to spread the love for you guys here in this room. So here we go. What a wonderful world. That's my wife, Jenny Wu. Very nice. This is a fundraiser, so donate. There you go. All right.
Thank you so much, Z Lee, for that wonderful performance. Let's give him another big round of applause. I think half the room wants to know where they can buy those glasses. Just be prepared for fans asking about that as well as your music. Now, when Thong and Yvonne first met with me to tell me about the content of this evening's gala, and I found out that I was going to have the opportunity to introduce our final keynote speaker, I was simply delighted. And that's because somehow, prior to tonight, I had not yet actually had the chance to meet Elaine Cha in person. But she's someone whose work I have a profound level of respect and admiration for. Today, she is best known in St. Louis for hosting and producing one of our region's most significant radio talk shows, St. Louis on the Air, for our NPR affiliate, St. Louis Public Radio. Yes, clap for that. Listening to her program, you will always be engaged and surprised by the range of ideas and the depth of conversation that is possible, whether it's examining the challenges that we face as a region or celebrating the innovation or the arts or the countless brilliant St. Louisans transforming our community each day. She reminds us of the best of what our community has to offer, but also reminds us of the work that we must do to confront those big ideas that may be standing in the way of us being the best that we can be. Hers is a forum of journalism in its truest, most unbiased, and most welcome sense, the kind of voice we welcome daily into our home, our office, or our car when we want to leave an hour feeling a little richer and a little more hopeful for her company over the airwaves. She challenges the presumed narrative by ensuring that those groups that haven't always been welcomed into the center of the narrative have the voice that they deserve. Her commitment to community and to this community make her a perfect keynote speaker tonight. And I will say, Elaine, that you and I do have one thing in common. Our house and your house are also full of books and full of Legos. And although I suspect that since your house is a multi-generational one, as I read in your bio, you have a much more legitimate reason to have something like Lego Optimus Prime or Big Ben on your shelf than I do, but I appreciate we share this as well. So let us now please all welcome to the podium, Elaine Cha.
All right, I'm a little shorter, even in heels. So I will tell you, this is the first keynote I've ever given, so please be gentle. Thank you for the wonderful, slightly intimidating introduction. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'd like to begin my keynote tonight by asking you a few questions to warm up. If you read my bio in the program, you know engagement is my jam, so here we are. Let's start with a show of hands. If your driver's license has a middle name, raise your hand. Right. Let's have a couple of those middle names. So there's a range there. Great. If your mother's first language is something other than English, lift 2 hands high. It's many of us. Now this one involves clapping. And for those who have not yet had your meal, I know that this may be a stretch, but please participate as you can. If your family owned a restaurant or store or mom and pop sized establishment at some point, clap your hands 3 times. Okay, let's do that one more time. Okay. How many of you worked at those establishments for room and board? No wages. The next question involves some gentle percussion. Let's not break anything. If your answer to when did you graduate from high school is the year 2002 or sometime thereafter, please clink your glass. So 2002 or thereafter. And finally, have you or your children spent more than half your lives in the United States? If so, wave your program above your head. So take a look around. Thank you all for playing along. My full name is Elaine Taeyong Cha. It's my government name, given to me when I was born in Toronto, Canada, to parents who emigrated with their respective families when they were 17 from Seoul, Korea to Sao Paulo, Brazil in the early 1970s. My mom and dad met in Brazil. My father's family moved to Canada, where he learned to speak English from Richard Pryor And for those who don't know that name, look up Richard Pryor when you get home and maybe turn the volume down. And my mom started university in upstate New York. Within a couple years, my folks got married. My mom was taking organic chemistry at University of Toronto, and boom, back to my government name. Then, almost 15 years later, my parents moved us to the United States, and I became an immigrant. I'm a Canadian citizen to this day. Now, that's a lot of information, right? I added some details to give you a sense of time and place, but basically that's how I tell my origin story, especially when I'm asked, where are you from? And I'll tell you, I get that question a lot in St. Louis, not only because of the way I look, but also how I say things, which includes how I talk, and more recently, where I talk. In fact, I think the reason I was invited to speak here at OCA's 50th anniversary celebration tonight owes to that combination and other traits, like I'm a transplant and an immigrant. I'm East Asian. My cha is Korean, though in college, the Chinese Student Association at UC San Diego emailed me every quarter to see if I changed my mind. And dim sum ladies back in Los Angeles unfailingly queried me in Cantonese, even if I was the only non-Chinese speaker at the table. And even before I moved to St. Louis from Los Angeles in June 2014, and especially thereafter, I've done my best to say things, to ask questions really, and seek conversation with everyday, ordinary folks whose experiences and insights reveal so much about this region, what it has been, how it works and sometimes does not work, and what it could become. In my professional capacities in particular, I've tried to find ways to share what people have so generously and willingly shared with me. Through collaboration with individuals and partnerships with different organizations or institutions, I've had the privilege of serving as a kind of midwife or conduit for community members' stories. The kinds of stories lived by people, we've heard some of those tonight, people who've long had something to say, yet haven't been asked to talk or offered a platform through which their stories can be more broadly heard and known if they don't represent the majority or the mainstream, or don't have access to platforms or power, even within their claimed or ascribed communities. Being a storyteller as part of the engagement content team for the Ferguson Commission and serving as the co-editor of the Humans of St. Louis book, those are just two of the places I felt very happy and proud to do that. And it's no small thing that in my current role at St. Louis Public Radio as host-producer of St. Louis on the Air, I get to talk with regular people doing really cool, really important things that more of us should know about. Those call letters are 90.7, and you can find us at stlpr.org. We have an app, and there are podcasts too. More on that. Those people unasked very much include folks who don't fit into one of the binaries that underlie narratives about who comprises St. Louis. There's the black-white binary, the Christian, non-Christian binary, the native, non-native binary, and that where did you go to high school thing that's so often cited as a very St. Louis question. As I learned through our March show dedicated to 314 Day, it's not as broadly prevalent or uniformly meaningful as it's made out to be. It's also no accident that it highlights the intersections or tanglings, if you will, of a whole lot of other binaries, including city-county. Since I moved here in mid-2014, I've seen the St. Louis region become increasingly diverse across race and ethnicity in particular. But y'all, see, I've been here for a little while now. This place has been diverse for decades, right? I mean, that's partly why we're here. And in our present context, this gala commemorating the 50th anniversary of OCA's founding, it should be abundantly clear that figures are only one measure. Quantity does not equal quality. In these decades of comparatively small numbers, insofar as population goes, Asian Americans in St. Louis have contributed significantly to nearly every facet of local community and culture, be it social or civic, and have been doing so every month of each of those 50 years, and not just in the month of May. Right, I need a little bit of a breath, and if you need a drink, this is probably a good time to take one. I'll be transparent here and confess something. Being invited to give this keynote created both reason and opportunity to learn about OCA. I've gleaned a great deal, even in these few hours here, that I didn't know before. Stories of connections, hearing how people have come to this organization, what they have gleaned from it. And I warrant there's no way I could have learned those things quite so well without being here. And it's incredibly fitting because being present has been absolutely essential to OCA, to organizing, connecting, and acting. It also underscores the reality that depending on who you are, and that absolutely includes details of your personal history, your temperament and personality, your sensibilities and interests and spheres of work, play, life, love, that organizing or connecting or acting to support efforts that in turn support AANHPI folks and communities, and there's many of them, we are not all the same. That may look different for you than for the person sitting right across the table right now, or maybe more so for somebody who's not here, but is present somewhere in a way that's vital to the OCA goals and vision that's guided its first 50 years and carries in different ways into the next 50. And it's why I kicked off this keynote with questions. It was a way, yes, to set up my self-introduction, but I wanted to include some means by which you all could see, even if briefly, what we, at least in this room, have in common and where our experiences and backgrounds may differ. I think all too often, it's assumed that we're all the same, and there can be a great deal of pressure to represent the Asian community when it feels like there's not enough time or space for nuance. I submit that sometimes we expect that of one another, don't we? There's need for more representations, plural, so there's more room for everyone to imagine, accept, and be ourselves in very many ways. And on that note, back in February, Peter Tao and Janet Leong joined me on St. Louis on the Air to talk with me about the Chinese American Collecting Initiative, active collecting. And this was before I was invited to speak tonight, so I think I must have provided for a satisfactory experience, otherwise I might not be here. And I was still pretty new to the show then. We began by discussing Hop Alley as mainstream media's shorthand for Chinese American history in St. Louis some years ago. I also asked their thoughts on generational differences in interpretations of stories about Chinese American history, public accounts and archival news stories, as well as anecdotes that are shared by people increasingly through the Chinese American Collecting Initiative. Janet's response seems apropos of how we're opening right here now a new chapter of OCA's life story, as it were. I think this generation, Janet said, probably questions more and doesn't take things at face value. They have the ability now to step back and say, what does that mean for me? Why is that important? and why should I care? So I'll close this keynote by asking all of you, but especially to those of you who consider yourselves part of this generation, and that does not have to be based on your age. I would like for you to peruse this meticulously made program and ask yourself, what has OCA meant for others, and what does it or can it mean for me? Is there something this organization is doing that I might help? What is OCA pursuing already that I'm interested in exploring? And what isn't OCA doing that's really important and that I can help shape, build, and lead? As Peter Tao returns to the podium to give this evening a proper close, I hope at this time next year, you'll be able to say, you've been part of making OCA's 51st year a time to reflect upon many new lessons, appreciate significant developments, and celebrate the fruits of your commitments and dedication. And it seems fitting at the beginning of the evening, there was acknowledgement that this is the anniversary of the Chinese Exclusion Act. It is coinciding with a night celebrating extraordinary inclusion and embrace, an invitation to support, contribute to, and be present in OCA's second half-century of work. So as you do your work to build St. Louis's AANH PI communities and our collective capital C community in STL, I hope you'll find the ride to May 2024 a memorable and richly rewarding one. I'll look forward to finding ways to do that with you on and off air. Thanks for letting me speak with you tonight.
Thank you very much, Elaine. Let's give her one more round of applause, please. Before we close the evening, I just want to give a last call for our silent auction in the back. I see that we have a lot of bids, but there's still a lot of space out there to continue the silent auction. So if you want to put in a final bid, now's the time. Also, raffle tickets. Philip and Tila, where are you? Still selling raffle tickets? There they are. They're in the back. You accept cash? Yes. Do you accept Venmo? Yeah. Is that a yes? Oh, can you come up to the front so you're closer to the people? Credit cards? Credit cards? Yes, all those. Okay. No credit cards. Oh, yes. Okay. So cash, credit card. Go? Go. Okay, I'm not sure what go is. Zelle? Zelle? All right. Lots of options here. And if you have enough tickets left, I think I'd like to buy a bunch right now, too. Yeah. Sure. Can I buy a bunch? Right now. Do you have them with you? Let's do it. I think I actually have cash. Oh. Maybe. Which do you prefer?
I'll take cash.
Cash? Okay. 20 or 50? Let me see.
100.
Oh, no. Well, that's a little too much.
Come on, you work for Hollywood stars.
So since I live in LA, and I'm probably not going to be able to take advantage of most of the raffles, if I buy 50, I'll give the 15 tickets to the next person who buys $50 worth.
There you go.
Anybody? You'll get 30 tickets for $50 essentially. Anybody? Okay, if I buy, are you gonna do it? All right, thank you, Lisa. Okay, so do I have 50?
Lisa.
Here, I'll give you a credit card.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
I'll be right back.
Thank you, Lisa. So Lisa's gonna get 30 tickets. All right. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you again, Lisa, for donating the bag. Before we wrap up tonight, I also want to call a very special guest to the stage to give some remarks. It's Rebecca Wu, and she's the Public Affairs Officer for the FBI office in St. Louis. Please join me in welcoming Rebecca Wu. Still there? There you are. All right.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, happy 50th OCA Golden Anniversary. It is such a pleasure for me and an honor to be here to join in the celebration. And speaking of the Chinese American Collecting Initiative, I want to take the opportunity to thank Peter Tao because he has agreed to come to our office to present the information that he's collected. So we are really excited and thank you for taking your time in recognition of AAPI Heritage Month. So this is the second night in a row that I personally get to honor the work of Asian Americans. I just got back from Washington, D.C. at FBI headquarters, where my boss, the special agent in charge, and I were at FBI headquarters to honor Michelle Lee. And I'm sure everyone here knows who Michelle Lee is. The head of the entire FBI, Director Christopher Wray, personally presented the Director's Community Leadership Award to Michelle Lee, as well as honorees that each of the FBI field offices across the country selected for their work to help improve the community. And as you already know, but just in case there's one person here who doesn't know Michelle Lee, Michelle is the morning anchor at KSDK News Channel 5, and she's had quite a year in 2022. She made a passing remark during a news broadcast and said that most Koreans eat dumplings for New Year's. And in return, she received a racist voicemail criticizing her of being very Asian and to keep her Korean to herself. And if you don't know Michelle, she is exactly the same genuine person that you see on TV. She is a good human being. And so she took the high road. Instead of criticizing her critic publicly, she turned ignorance into a positive and a proud moment for Asian Americans across the country. And this was during the spike in anti-Asian hate. And so that is why the FBI honored her with the Director's Community Leadership Award. When it comes to hate crimes, and I know Michelle would have wanted to be here, but again, she was in DC with us yesterday, and then I think she's in New York still. She was at the White House the day before, so she has been very busy. Investigating hate crimes is a top priority of the FBI. In fact, my boss, before he was appointed to head FBI St. Louis, he was at headquarters, and he led the charge to elevate investigating hate crimes as a top priority. And what that meant was that extra resources were allocated to each of the FBI field offices to investigate hate crimes. But we still need help. The FBI believes that hate crimes are still underreported. So what we're trying to tell victims and witnesses, don't be afraid to contact the FBI. Now, if you are in immediate danger, always call 911, because your local police are first responders. In the FBI, we do investigations. So if you're not an immediate threat, you can contact your local police, but also please contact the FBI. So here in FBI St. Louis, we cover the entire eastern side of Missouri. You can contact our FBI St. Louis office. Feel free to ask for me, and I will get you to the right person. Or you can also call an easy number to remember, 1-800-CALL-FBI, and they will direct your information to our office here in St. Louis. But that FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI works for anybody across the country. Now, even if you don't speak English, if you can help us spread the word, for victims who do not speak English, the FBI has access to interpreters. And if I may kind of take a side note, the reason why we have interpreters is because we're always recruiting people who can help interpret, so that because obviously we have victims who speak many different languages. So if you are interested in working part-time as an interpreter for the FBI, it's fbijobs.gov. It tells you all the information, all the criteria. The one criteria I will say is that you do have to be a US citizen. But here's the important thing I want you to take away. If you are a victim of a hate crime, or really a victim of any federal crime, the FBI does not care whether or not you are a US citizen. It's just like when you call the police, 911. They're not gonna ask you, are you a US citizen? No, right? They're gonna respond to you. So it's the same with the FBI. It does not matter that you are not a US citizen when you are a victim of a federal crime. And I will take that explanation one step further. If a US citizen goes to another country and commits what we consider a federal crime in the United States, we will still go after that US citizen. So specifically, I know at our office, we had a US citizen travel to the Philippines to exploit children. We got him there. We were able to get him extradited back from the Philippines to a federal court here in St. Louis to face trial. And because defendants have a right to face their accusers, we had to fly the girls. These are grade school little girls. We flew them back to St. Louis for the trial, and he was convicted and is still serving federal prison time for his work. So that is just, the point is, the FBI, it does not matter. If you are a victim of a federal crime, and that happened here in the United States, the FBI wants to help. So the FBI, our investigations is the breadth and depth of what we investigate at FBI is very vast. So a lot of people do not know what we investigate. And so if you're a victim of a certain crime, you won't know to come to the FBI, to contact the FBI if you're a victim. So the easy way for you to know is we are also on social media. We are on Twitter, but you don't have to be on Twitter. You can always go to our Twitter page. It's just like going to a website. Just search the @ symbol at FBI St. Louis, and you can see our Twitter page, because all our investigations, once they are charged, whether there's a plea or a sentence, they're published on our Twitter page. So that's a really easy way to know what we investigate. So I ask you to please take a look. It's just to peruse the web page, I should say. So if you have any questions, I am here. Please come up, ask me about FBIjobs.gov, ask me about anything you want. So again, I want to thank you all, and it's, again, such a pleasure for me to be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you again, Rebecca, and to your office for all of your work supporting our community. Let's give it one more time for Rebecca. And before we close the program, I'd like to call up Joe to the stage with me, my wonderful co-MC for the evening. After the program closes, we're going to be calling out the raffle number, so please be sure to stay tuned for that. And to give some closing remarks, I think we're going to call up Peter Tao one more time to the stage, please. Peter Tao.
These are closing remarks, but you don't have to leave. Thank you for joining OCA St. Louis for this milestone evening. Thank you again to the Missouri History Museum and Missouri Historical Society for your collaboration and hospitality in the past, for the initiative, and for this evening. Let's also give acknowledgement tonight for an applause to our volunteers and many of those who made this evening happen, and especially to our table sponsors as well. And thank you to the several presidents of OCA who are in this room. They're listed in the program, for getting us to this point. It's an all-volunteer organization, so it is very noble of what they have committed to in the past. We typically only get to celebrate 50-year anniversary once. However, many of us will journey to Washington, D.C. in July, when the National OCA Convention will be, and they will do their official celebration. Anyone is welcome to come to that convention. After July, that will conclude our first 50 years. Well, we do hope that you were inspired by our collection of speakers, which I thought was just amazing. Learn not only about OCA, but of equal, if not greater importance, you were able to learn about the AAPN-HI community, both around us in this building and within the greater St. Louis community. Tonight, we learned a little bit on how we can and should organize, connect, and act. As you leave here, we hope you will not remember this evening as a moment in time, but you will leave wondering how the AAPN-HI community can be a part of your own community moving forward. Our work is far from over. We need your help going forward to make a difference. I want to encourage each and every one of you to consider supporting OCA and other AANHPI organizations, many of which are represented in this room. For OCA, consider joining us in a leadership role. as a member of our board or advisory committee. By doing so, you will have the opportunity to help shape the next 50 years. We must collectively create opportunities for our younger generation, which we so desperately need to respect, include, and support. It is an increasingly challenging world to navigate without community and without collective support. In conclusion, what I do want to mention is some notable St. Louis Asian Americans. Did you know that Stephen Chu, the Nobel Prize winner and Energy Secretary under Obama, was from St. Louis? Did you know that Jiawei Wu, who attended WashU, got his MA and PhD at WashU, became the first Asian American or Chinese American of a major university, that was San Francisco State? Did you know that S.B. Wu, a graduate of Washington University, PhD, became the Lieutenant Governor of Delaware? We, of course, have many leaders in local leaders. It's not just all those who accomplish national. I want to recognize the Proposal family, Global Foods. They started the first Asian grocery store. They now have 3, if you know, J International, United Provisions, and Global Foods in Kirkwood. And they have many, many restaurants, and they are deeply involved with the Thai community. Of course, we mentioned Michelle Lee. We have with us Janet Leong that Elaine mentioned, and the Leong family have deep roots in the St. Louis history and the original Chinatown, where Janet's aunt, Annie Leong, many of you may know the story, she became the face of not only their restaurant business, but the business association. And that was just remarkable, especially at that time as a woman and a leader. Janet's father, Wing Leong, became a long-established contributor at Emerson Electric for 5 decades or something like that. We have one of the renowned historians, Hu Ping Ling, who is writing all about Chinese American history in St. Louis and the Midwest, and she is cited by historians all around the country. Of course, we have many architects who are famous, Gio Obata, Richard Henme. We have Anna Crosland in the room, raise your head, longtime leader of the International Institute, which has made St. Louis a welcoming community for newcomer immigrants and refugees. And the list goes on. William Wu was the first editor of a major U.S. newspaper, and that was the St. Louis, as a first Chinese American to be editor of a major newspaper in the United States, and that was the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And the list goes on. We are a community, we are a diverse community, and we are a valuable community. So would like to just keep that in mind as you think about this evening. Thank you.
We have red envelopes. And attached to these red envelopes, we also have feedback on the speaker. We have the winning tickets for a wide range of wonderful gifts and prizes. So we're going to go back and forth and call out who has won what. So get your raffle tickets out. And
obviously,
we'll call it one more time. 136 131. Okay, we'll put that down, and maybe someone will shout loudly in a minute. Otherwise, we'll pull a new ticket.
all right.
The next one we have is two $50 gift cards for Corner 17, and that number is 136195. 136195. Do we have a winner? Yes? All right. All right.
We will bring the winnings to you. Next, this is exciting. It's the Chihuly Nights tickets at the Missouri Botanical Gardens, and that's going to ticket number 136312. That's 136312. I feel like I'm at an auction. Who? Anyone want you? Hooray! I'll bring this to you.
Okay. Our next one is one box of Carviva drinks, and that's 136426. 136426. Do we have a winner? All right. Okay, right there.
And next, it's a raffle item for the new 21C Museum Hotel in St. Louis. And the winner of that prize is 136388. 136388, who's going to the 21C Museum Hotel St. Louis. Yay! All right, I'll bring this to you.
Okay. Another box of Carviva drinks, and that's 136353. 136353. Yes? All right.
And coming up next, 4 Cardinals tickets at 136469. That's 136469. Take a second, look at your ticket, see if you are 136469. Anyone? Keep looking. We will go to the next raffle ticket.
And the next one is for two $25 gift vouchers for STL Filipino Bakery, and that's 136004. 136004. Yes.
All right, after that, we've got 2 Cardinals tickets. So these are different than the previous 4 Cardinals tickets. And this is going to ticket number 136253. 136253. Woo! All right.
Okay, I'm going to call out 2 numbers now. Both are for $25 gift vouchers for STL Filipino Bakery. The first is 136018. 136018, okay, and 136188. 136188. Okay, I think we have one of those. Congrats.
All right, next we've got a $50 gift card to United Provisions. And the winner of the $50 gift card to United Provisions is 136134. That's 136134. That's you? Maybe? I see hands in the air.
Oh, 188, 188. Oh, yes.
136134? Was there a 1361? All the way in the back. Hooray! We will meet halfway.
Yeah, we're getting our steps in. This is great. I'm almost at 10,000. Go, Joe. Okay, one more $25 gift voucher for STL Filipino Bakery, and that is 136427. 427. I see a hand in the back.
All right, now we've got a $50 gift card for Nami Ramen, and that is for 136452. 136452. Great. I will be right there. I'm going to call the next one while we circle back and forth. I've got a gift card for Corner 17, 136416.
374.
374. 374. I got a 416. I've got a. No. Oh, no. I got. Okay, so tell me who's got. Oh, thank you. Okay, so you are 416. Hooray! And you are 452 over there. All right.
Did you call 374? Oh, 27. Did you call 274?
274?
I don't see that.
I don't see 274.
All right, who's playing jokes on us here? Okay. This one. I think we're gonna draw for this one. Okay. We're gonna draw for corner 17, one $50 gift card. Yes, President Tarm is going to draw the winning number on this one.
That makes it really good.
136254. 136254. In the back. Oh, red dress in the back. You can do that. Thong's gonna take that one. Yes, you see that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go for it. How do I say this? Oishi.
All right, it's a $50 gift card for, please forgive me for saying this possibly wrong, Oishi. Did I get that right? I hope I did. I hope I
pretty
did. Okay, 136059, 136059. All right.
059.
059.
Going once. In the back? In the back. Okay. I'm glad I stretched before this. Are we redrawing these? Oh, we need to Joe couldn't come back. Joe, are we redrawing these? Are they not here? Okay, we're gonna call these one more time.
All right. We're calling these two numbers. If you have these two numbers, wave your hand. 136131 and 136469. Oh, you got 131 all the way back there? Is that yes? And you have one over there? Okay, well that might be all of it. Let me check.
It looks like it's a match. It looks like it's a match. And
I think that
concludes it. I think that wraps up our raffle. All right, congratulations to all of our winners.
Thank you all for being here tonight. We really appreciate all the support for OCA St. Louis, and we hope to see you again for the 51st Gala and many times between now and then. Thank you for your support tonight. You can still make a gift. You can still become a member. You can still do all those things. What? What?
Oh, if you bid on a silent auction prize, you can check the list in the back. They have those winners in the back.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. Good question from the audience. Thank you. Have a great evening. Check to see if you've won the silent auction in the back. Please consider becoming a member of OCA, and we will see you again very soon. Enjoy dessert. Enjoy each other's company.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.